Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Abenyamonge Media for today's stories and detailed analysis from Kenya and all the four corners of the world.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're doing fine and I hope this video finds you in good health. And if you're watching this channel for the first time, take a second or two, subscribe to our channel so that we can grow together. If you're a returning viewer, thank you very much for supporting this channel. So, ladies and gentlemen, in the mathematics of probability, it's absolutely zero or no chance that ODM could grant BABU OWINO the ODM ticket to run for the Nairobi gubernatorial race in 2027. And the reasons are absolutely simple. Reason number one is that ODM believes, a lot of ODM politicians believe that BABU OWINO is still a young politician. He could wait because he has a lot of options in the future. And they could prefer giving this ticket to the likes of TIM WANYONYI, who was stopped from running in the 2022 general election. Secondly is that some wing of ODM politicians are not very happy with the popularity that BABU OWINO has gained of recent days. Remember when BABU OWINO was attending the opening of the Jaramogi Odinga Stadium in SIAYA, youth were very cheerful to him, and it impressed how BABU OWINO, and it shows how the youths have embraced BABU OWINO, and it really shows to the fact that BABU OWINO has always said that when Baba goes to AU, ODM is going to remain with Babu. And these statements have made a lot of politicians not very happy with BABU OWINO. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this analysis, we want to look into the options that are left with BABU OWINO regarding running for the Nairobi gubernatorial race in 2027. That will be versus Sakaja. And without further ado, let's get into it. Option number one, the biggest question that is in BABU OWINO's mind right now is, could he survive right now by defying RAILA Odinga? Do you think BABU OWINO could survive by coming out to form a political party of himself, or by moving to a different coalition of different side right now? My answer is no. BABU OWINO cannot survive right now by defying RAILA Odinga. And the best option right now is to wait until the time is ripe for him. And when will be the time be ripe for BABU OWINO? When ODM absolutely joins with UDA. If Baba Odinga is going to win the AU seat, then there are high chances that ODM at the end of the day is going to form a coalition with UDA. And that will be the rightful time for BABU OWINO to come out and say, for me, I've always come out and stood with the ODM members, but to stand with the common mwananchi, I cannot stand with the President Ruto, who has always frustrated with Kenyans. And BABU OWINO has always maintained those statements. And it will be the right time for him to move from ODM party or that coalition, distance himself from it, and join a different coalition, probably the coalition of Rigathi Gachagua. And this forms my point number two, that Sakaja, who is the Nairobi governor right now, has already lost the voting block of the Mount Kenya region. Reason being is that Rigathi Gachagua was impeached from government. It made the Nairobi Kikuyu community very annoyed about it. And one of the allegations that Sakaja and Rigathi Gachagua was accused of was defending the Nairobi Mount Kenya people who are doing business in Nairobi. And that voting block could be of very great benefit to BABU OWINO if he gains it. And the only way he's going to gain it is going to move to the side of Rigathi Gachagua when ODM joins with UDA. Remember that at that time, BABU OWINO could move with the ODM Youth League. There are a lot of ODM Youth League that won't support that coalition of ODM and UDA. And there are a lot of people in ODM who could understand, or could it could justify the movement of BABU OWINO to a different coalition, because they could agree with BABU OWINO that it's not right to support President Ruto in the 2027 general election, because it's a statement that BABU OWINO has always maintained. So BABU OWINO getting the Mount Kenya voting block, and if that coalition is going to include Kalonzo, is going to get the Ukambani voting block, and also coming with the youth voting block of ODM, then it will be very difficult to beat BABU OWINO in that race. So that's the option number 2. Waiting until ODM joins UDA, then moves to the Rigathi Gachagua coalition. And option number 3 is that BABU OWINO has a political future. And when you have a political future, Kenyans will be watching to see the steps you make. If BABU OWINO makes one slight mistake of supporting the UDA ODM coalition, if it comes to place, he is going to highly lose the trust he has gained within Kenyans. A lot of Kenyans right now believe the government is so unpopular, and if BABU OWINO supports that government, then its political future will be dimmed. So at the end of the day, moving out of that coalition will be the best option at his hand. Number 2, if BABU OWINO is going to move from that coalition, it's going to carry a lot of presidential votes to whoever coalition he will move to. And I've always said that the likes of BABU OWINO, the likes of Natembeya, the likes of Ndindi Nyoro, they are young politicians you cannot underestimate. BABU OWINO can highly influence the voting bloc of the Lake region. He could change the matrix if BABU OWINO goes to the Lake region and campaigns for somebody else and says that we cannot support President Ruto because of this reason, and you know how things have been happening, then he's going to move with a very huge substantial voting bloc to have a coalition, and that coalition will be equally be willing to support his ambitions, be it the Nairobi gubernatorial race or be it whenever post BABU OWINO will still want to run. Ladies and gentlemen, the last option that BABU OWINO has is to maintain his Embakasi position, and this only will come if Baba RAILA ODINGA loses the EU seat and distance himself from UDA. It's very possible. Winning of AU is 50-50, and if Baba is going to lose that seat, for instance, if he loses, because in that election is either lose or win, and this is an election that is going to come with a lot of diplomatic issues, international issues, African relation issues, and we hope that RAILA ODINGA is going to win. But if he loses, it will still mean that a lot of ODM constituents are going to rebel the government of President Ruto, and they'll be feel that he has betrayed RAILA ODINGA. And in the same instances, there are chances that RAILA ODINGA will still want to run for presidency in 2027, and he will be a very strong candidate. Baba RAILA ODINGA has not lost any of his constituency. Remember that he only lost the 2022 general election with a margin of 200,000 votes, and with President Ruto becoming so unpopular, if Baba runs for presidency, then he's going to be one of the strongest candidates in that election, and it's an election that can go to a second round if Rigathi Gachagua and Kalonzo Musyoka will still produce a presidential candidate. But in that case, the best option for BABU OWINO is to maintain his ODM Embakasi position so that he can protect his political future. Because going against Baba in that Baba in the ODM, Baba is running for ODM presidential seat, and you are campaigning for a different coalition, then you will totally lose the popularity of ODM, and BABU OWINO will totally lose the popularity he's gained in the Lake region of Nyanza. And a lot of youths in Kenya will still be opposed to him if he opposes Raila Odinga, if Baba runs for presidency in 2027. So right now the best thing is Babu to still give it a glance, wait to see what happens in AU seat, because that will be the biggest determinant of what moves he will make. If Baba Raila Odinga will loses, he retracts to his Embakasi East constituency and runs for it in 2027, waiting for the next round of 2032 to see what political step he will make, because Babu Owino is a man whose ambitions are ripe. He can even become one of the party principals in a coalition in future. He can even take over ODM in future. He's one of the youngest popular persons in the country who is very influential, and that is not arguable, because you can remember very well when he was attending the Jaramogi Odinga Stadium launch in SIAYA, youths were very cheerful to him, and you can even see how he's received in the ODM congregations. Youth even demand for him to speak. It shows the great trust the youth have in him, and the best thing for Babu Owino is to go for the chances that will maintain this popularity, even if it means lowering his ambition for the 2027 Nairobi Maturo race, to maintain that political future and space. Others, ladies and gentlemen, that's but only my opinion. You can tell me what you think in the comment section. I'll take my humble team to read and give you a response. Otherwise, stay safe wherever you are and have a nice weekend ahead.